For years, the whole world had only one name on their lips when talking about electric cars. Tesla, Elon Musk's company, had everything: innovation, prestige, and the image of a bright future. While traditional manufacturers were struggling to understand this new market, Tesla was moving at full speed, imposing its models as icons and its vision as an absolute truth. But on the other side of the world, another player was quietly advancing without the spotlights, flamboyant speeches, or hysterical fans. BYD, a Chinese manufacturer still unknown to the Western general public, was methodically laying the foundations of what was to become a real earthquake in the automotive industry. Today, this earthquake is very real. In 2024, BYD sold more electric vehicles and generated more revenue than Tesla. Above all, BYD has shown the world that a faster, more efficient, and more localized vision is achievable. So how did this Chinese giant, once specialized in batteries, manage to get the upper hand over the star of Silicon Valley innovation? What weapons, strategies, and decisions enabled this historic turnaround? Can Elon Musk still catch up, or is it too late? In fact, could some rising competitors challenge the dominance of this Tesla-BYD duo and completely reshuffle the cards of the global market? Hello, Team Mindset. I hope you are doing well. Welcome to the latest showdown between two industry titans. Today, we are going to dive into the behind the scenes of the electric car industry, analyze the numbers, understand the markets, observe the alliances, the factories, and the technological choices. Let's go. It seems that numbers never lie. At least they are not influenced by the charisma of a chief executive officer or the aura of a brand. And in 2024, they tell a story that can be hard to understand. That year, BYD recorded a turnover of $107.2 billion. Tesla, meanwhile, stopped at $97.7 billion, a symbolic gap, but a powerful one. Behind these balance sheet lines lies a profound shift in the power balance and more. Tesla delivered 1.8 million vehicles over the year, while BYD delivered 4.27 million, more than double Tesla's number. While Elon Musk struggled to maintain 1% growth, BYD moved forward with a 29% increase. Notably, only 4 manufacturers, including American brand Li Auto Series and our two behemoths, are currently profitable in the heavily state-subsidized electric sector. So we have 2 American brands and 2 Chinese ones. The balance is perfect. This success is the result of a meticulously planned strategy, carefully considered down to the finest details. Despite Tesla's leadership position, its growth numbers reveal much more than the expected challenges that come with being on top. Where Tesla has always aimed for the high-end with high-margin models, BYD has played the inclusivity card. From $10,000 city cars, family SUVs, luxury electric sedans, the range is wide, accessible, and perfectly suited to all profiles. It reminds me of the recent face-off between Samsung and Apple that we analyzed. In this case, BYD would be like Samsung, with a home field advantage. Let me know if you agree in the comments. China, which is none other than the world's largest automobile market, the largest market for electric vehicles, and with a government that is massively pushing for electrification, with subsidies, tax incentives, and almost unconditional support for national champions. Meanwhile, Tesla is struggling. Its once advantageous Shanghai factory is turning into a significant challenge. The local competition is fierce. Xpeng, sorry, I really don't know how to pronounce that, or even Li Auto. Economic patriotism is increasing, driving Chinese consumers to favor local brands over American giants. BYD is outperforming competitors not only in China, but also in Europe, Southeast Asia, and Latin America. The manufacturer is expanding rapidly, efficiently, and quietly. He is building factories in Hungary, Brazil, deploying his models in dozens of countries and adapting to each market. On the other hand, the Californian giant, the pioneer of the electric revolution, is facing mounting delays. His gigafactory in Mexico, which was initially announced for commissioning between mid-2024 and early 2025, is now uncertain. Some suppliers estimate that production may not begin until 2026 or 2027. Logistical costs and reliance on third-party suppliers are becoming increasingly expensive. BYD controls everything: the batteries, it manufactures them; the engines, it assembles them; the software, it develops them internally. This vertical integration is more than an industrial feat. It's a powerful weapon to reduce costs, meet deadlines, and be self-reliant. As Tesla slows down, BYD is speeding up. This is only the start. Because behind this financial domination hides a conquest strategy that is much larger. BYD's success in surpassing Tesla's sales volume is not solely attributed to its industrial capacity. It's also, and above all, the result of an extremely well-thought-out market strategy. Tesla has long targeted consumers seeking performance and cutting-edge tech with a premium positioning, while BYD has taken a more cross-cutting approach. The Chinese company has developed a full range of vehicles, from economical models to family cars and high-end sedans, targeting multiple segments. Diversification has enabled the company to reach a broader clientele, especially in emerging markets and high-growth potential countries. A prime example is the BYD Seagull, which is an electric city car offered at a price around $10,000. A positioning that makes it accessible to millions, far more than what a Tesla Model C offers. The price difference is not only due to labor costs or a volume strategy, it also relies on a very advanced vertical integration. Unlike Tesla, which relies on external suppliers for some components, BYD produces most key elements like batteries and engines in-house. This industrial decision will help the company better manage costs, reduce supply disruptions, and adjust production more swiftly to meet demand. BYD has been rigorously accelerating its international expansion for several years, extending beyond China. In Europe, the company first focused on the electric bus market before shifting to the automotive sector. To bolster its continental presence and circumvent recent European Union tariffs on Chinese-made electric vehicles. To safeguard its market, BYD revealed plans for a Hungarian factory to manufacture locally and better cater to European consumers. BYD is expanding in Southeast Asia and Brazil. On the African continent, the company is already active in several countries, notably in South Africa, Tunisia, Rwanda and Morocco market its electric vehicles. Negotiations are ongoing for a factory opening in South Africa. This global development, based on an agile model, would strengthen its commitment to the African market. BYD adapts its offerings to each region based on infrastructure, local policies, and consumer preferences rather than imposing a single vision. Tesla maintains a strong presence in North America and Europe, where its models continue to appeal with their design, range, and technology. However, the company faces challenges such as intensifying competition, geopolitical tensions, and high production costs, particularly outside China. So it's not a simple replacement, but a new balance that's being drawn. While Tesla has dominated the electric vehicle market, BYD has emerged as a viable competitor with a distinct approach emphasizing flexibility, local adaptation, and industrial control. There remains a field where Tesla has always maintained a lead, technological innovation, but even there, the situation is evolving. One of Tesla's key success factors has always been innovation, with the company distinguishing itself through remarkable technological advances from the start. The battery life, the engine performance, the software interface, remote updates, elements that have elevated these vehicles beyond mere transportation. Recently, BYD has made significant progress in organizing competition in this field. Far from being content with an advantage in volume or price, the Chinese manufacturer is heavily investing in technology. The most striking example is undoubtedly the Blade battery, a lithium iron phosphate battery designed and produced internally. Cheaper to produce, more heat-resistant and longer-lasting, it provides a viable alternative to conventional lithium-ion batteries. This technology allows BYD to equip its vehicles with reliable batteries while maintaining competitive prices. Tesla has also started to integrate lithium iron phosphate batteries into some of its entry-level models. However, BYD has an industrial advantage as it doesn't rely on external suppliers. It makes its own cells, allowing better cost and supply control. The E-Platform 3.0 is another innovation axis. This architecture will optimize autonomy, improve fast charging, and lower the vehicle's center of gravity for better road performance. It's an internal development that reflects a clear will not to just follow the technological leaders, but to bring its own solutions. On one hand, with software, BYD remains more cautious than Tesla, where Tesla is heavily betting on autonomous driving and its full self-driving system. BYD adopts a more progressive approach, which favors stability and assistance with traditional driving. Ultimately, these are two very different approaches. On one hand, a desire to break the rules, to reinvent everything, and on the other, a logic. More progressive, BYD has a slight edge in terms of environmental impact and a culture of continuous improvement. Lithium iron phosphate batteries, with lower production pollution and local manufacturing, help minimize the car's carbon footprint. Tesla remains a significant player in the energy transition, but faces challenges due to its complex global logistics chain, complicating matters. Tesla will keep its lead in software, remote updates, supercharger network, and digital ecosystem, which remain industry benchmarks. But clearly the gap is narrowing, and BYD is no longer just following movement. The company innovates, develops unique solutions, and starts shaping the industry's direction. BYD's rise against Tesla is more than just numbers or technology. It's also a reflection of a changing market and a new balance slowly being established between the major industrial powers. Tesla remains a key player, especially in North America and Europe, with its pioneering image and visionary aura still holding strong influence. Recently, sales have been declining in multiple important markets, complicating matters. In Europe, the decline sometimes exceeds 60%, as in France or Germany. In Australia, one of its key markets, registrations have plummeted, and not solely due to competition. Tesla's own governance is starting to raise questions alongside the industrial challenges. Elon Musk, once a symbol of innovation and vision, is now a polarizing figure. Elon Musk's high media exposure and involvement in various projects, from Space 10 to 10 and 10 AI, sometimes suggest that Tesla is no longer his top priority. Add to this his current scandals and the Tesla cars burned in protest against his policy under the new United States administration. Investors are becoming concerned, as discussed in a separate video, about the crisis of confidence in Tesla's leadership. And it's not certain that Donald Trump's infomercial-style publicity at the White House helped much.
Tesla's stock is collapsing, and who comes to the rescue from...
BYD takes a different approach with no ultra-publicized central figure and a more traditional, discreet and stable governance. It's a polished industrial strategy executed by a group, not an individual. This difference is also found in their way of establishing themselves in the world. Tesla focuses on a few key markets, while BYD has expanded into Eastern Europe, Latin America, and Southeast Asia. It produces locally, anticipates geopolitical tensions, and smartly distributes its risks. Tesla's declining stock price indicates the company is struggling, but it's not necessarily finished. We went from a peak of $470 in December 2024 to $250 at the time of recording this video. But the company still has an impressive capacity for innovation, a very committed community. Well, okay, maybe not in Canada. I'd like to take a moment to welcome our many new Quebecois friends who have recently joined us. Tesla must now evolve in a much more competitive and less mistake-tolerant environment. The dual BYD, says Tesla. It extends beyond technology or sales, touching on contrasting visions of innovation, expansion, and leadership. And maybe that's where everything will be decided. This management philosophy is already shaping the future of electric cars behind the scenes. While Tesla and BYD are often the focus, they are not the only players in the market. The world of electric vehicles, pushed hard by governments around the world, attracts tractors that are refining their strategy to get their share of the cake. Competition is fierce in China. We have brands that I was talking about earlier, like NIO or Lioto, which are gaining strength by betting on ultra-technological models. Voice commands, semi-autonomous driving, and connected services are being used to attract a young, urban clientele increasingly loyal to local brands. In Europe, traditional manufacturers like Volkswagen, Renault, BMW, and Stellantis are accelerating. Despite many problems, they have heavily invested in electric with moderate success so far. But their strength is a solid distribution network, a customer base that is already well established, and a real understanding of market needs. In South Korea, Hyundai and Kia are establishing themselves as references with models like the Ioniq 5 or the EV6, which are particularly successful in Europe and the United States due to their modern design, autonomy, and excellent value. In the United States, new brands like Rivian and Lucid Motor are seizing opportunities, particularly in niches such as pickups and luxury SUVs. For these brands, the main challenge is scaling up from prototypes to mass production. Even the traditionally cautious Japanese seem to be embracing it. Toyota and Honda are now betting on electric with promising technologies such as solid batteries or hydrogen. In short, the competition is ubiquitous and escalating. Today, Tesla and BYD compete for the top position, but the future won't be determined by a sole winner. The race will feature diverse strategies and potential surprises from numerous contestants. So, in your opinion, who is really going to come out on top? Will BYD continue gaining ground and completely overthrow Tesla, or can Tesla make a smashing comeback to the top? Or is it another brand coming out of nowhere that will seize the throne? Kind of like Android, which was bought by Google, a few million while he was doing photography, to finally become the smartphone leader without selling a single phone. As we see in the video that is displayed.